Hi, everyone. Man, I don't even know what to talk about. I had a pretty boring week. Not much has happened. I did this guy's podcast, I did Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was so cool. It was so nice seeing him before he goes to Texas. It was so cool doing the podcast. It's one of those things where, like, as soon as I started doing shows with him, like hosting and opening and stuff, everyone would always be like, oh, are you going to do the pod? Are you going to ask Joe if you can do the pod? Like, when are you going to be on the pod? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to ask to do his podcast. Like, he's a smart enough guy to know when he wants someone on the pod. And it finally happened. He called me up the day before. He doesn't call me often, so I was like, oh, I wonder. I thought he was already going to be in Texas, so I thought he was calling to be like, I just got to Texas, like, I'm going to miss you, like, whatever. If you're in Texas, let me know. And I talked to him. We talked for like 20 minutes, and I was like, he's still in town. He's not going for like a week, I think. And by the end of the conversation, he was like, so, do you want to do the pod? I was like, yes, bitch. I'll be there. When? Tell me. And it was the next day. I didn't have enough time to freak out about it, but I still managed to fit it in my schedule. And it was so surreal because, you know, I've seen it. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it so many times. And then I was finally there, and it was so crazy. He has weird chairs. I don't know what I was expecting, but the chairs were weird. It was like straddled chairs. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's almost like a bike seat kind of, but a little bit bigger, where it's just like a part for your ass, and then like there's a part that sticks out that you kind of straddle. It was weird, but Post Malone sat in the same chair as me. That was so cool. Post Malone was just there, and then I was there. Me and Post are practically the same person. Almost, pretty much, kind of. I even painted my nails because I saw that Post Malone had his nails painted on the pod. And that camera's being weird. Post Malone had his nails painted on the pod, so I was like, I'll paint my nails. And I brought my cigarettes because Post Malone had cigarettes, and I was like, I'm gonna post up. I'm posting up on the pod. And I thought it went well. I was so scared I was gonna like say some dumb shit, or just like embarrass myself, or be like, what am I talking about? And I'm sure that there were those moments in there, but overall I felt good about it. It was my first time going on, so it was like, you know, when you're about to go on a date and you're like planning out everything you think that could come up. You're like, okay, if they ask about work, you know, I'll talk about this. Like, I don't know, I was just like planning out every possible scenario that might come up, and like, you know, not like how to respond, but just like making sure I like have my shit together. And then nothing that I planned came, like nothing came, like it all just happened naturally. This is dumb, but it's like I was talking to Joe like I normally would, and it was a conversation that I would kind of normally have. And my friend, I called my friend, and he was like, if Joe starts playing videos of like elk or any sort of animal in the wild, just know that you fucked up. He was like, you have created a lull in the conversation. And Joe did play videos of elk, and maybe that was my bad. But whatever, I got the full experience. I got the Joe Rogan experience. And it was also just nice to see him and Jamie before they go. And now I'm like, should I go to Texas? Maybe. Maybe I'll go to Texas. Who knows? There's nothing else for me to do here. But I don't know if I will. But, I mean, if Joe's opening up a club over there, if everyone's going over there, why am I here? Maybe to become the new Joe. That's not going to happen. But, you know, I don't know. It seems fun. It seems cool. I want to move. Why not? I asked him, I was like, so do you have like a guest house, a guest bedroom? Do you need a babysitter? We'll see. Maybe he'll call. But, yeah, it was super fun. And then, of course, like on the way home and today, I'm just like, oh, I should have said this, or like I should have added that, or like, you know, it's like after a fight when you start to think of all the good stuff when the person leaves, you're like, God damn it, I could have said something so good. But whatever, I'll be on again. Right, Joe? Please have me on again. It was so cool. Now I'm like, why can't I smoke cigarettes in Anthony's house? What the hell? Why don't we have a gym in our studio, aka your living room? It was so tight. I'm so glad it happened. Okay, good episode. Thanks, Anthony. Bye, guys. No, it was yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It was really cool. His wife was there, and I got a COVID test, and his daughter was there. And I hadn't met his daughter or anything, and she was so adorable and cute, and his wife is awesome. I'd only kind of met her once at the Improv, but I was like too nervous to like actually introduce myself, so it was nice like getting to like finally like meet her in the daytime and like not at a comedy club. She was so cool, and they had a doctor there to give me a Rona test. I'm good, baby. I'm like batting 100 right now, and I've been pretty risky, not gonna lie. I'm surprised that I haven't gotten it, but I haven't. I got my finger pricked so they could tell if you have had the antibodies or if you're actively fighting the antibodies, and never had it, never gonna get it. Who knows? But also, big news. You might have seen it on my Instagram. I've been sneakily posting about it. If you're wondering what the heart posts were all about, my shirts came out, and there's a cute heart at the bottom of them, and it says Ali Macofsky is my girlfriend, because COVID is lonely times, and you might, whether you have a loved one or not, whether you're gay or straight, give it to your dog, whatever. I hope they're sold out at this point. There was only a limited amount, you know. If I had known I was going on Joe's pod, I would have printed out some more shirts, but, you know, limited release. I hope the OGs get their hands on one. And if you did get one, please post a photo wearing it when you get it. But the USPS is all fucked right now, huh? So we'll see about that, but I'm going to ship them out. I'm hand shipping them. So when you get it, smell the bag. Do what you need to do. Save the bag. Frame it. Because my little dirty hands have been on it. Should up the price for that. There's also one shirt. I think I said this last time. There's one shirt. Not this one, because it was honestly getting so smelly I couldn't wear it. But it's this size. This is the black medium. My favorite kind of shirt. And when I got all the shirts, they gave me the black medium to try on, and I've been wearing it pretty much every day. I've been wearing it to sleep. I've been wearing it, you know, it's dirty. There's like toothpaste on it. I think it's toothpaste. It might be some other special sauce, and it smells like shit. The armpit air, I smelt it because I was like, I wonder, whoever gets this t-shirt, they need to wash it. Like, I don't know how big of a fan you are of mine, but once you smell it, you're going to be like, yeah, this needs a heavy wash, hot water. But you'll know that I've worn it, you know. I'm not putting any perfume on it. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm this clean girl. I'm not, you know. It's nasty. But it's going to be yours. I don't know how much I'm going to sell it for. I don't know what I'm going to do for that. If I'm going to do, like, highest bidder gets the shirt. This might be me sounding a little bit precocious. I don't know if that's the right word for this. I don't know if I sound a bit like delusional, but if it gets to like a price where I'm like, I don't think this will happen, but just in case, if it gets to like a price where I'm like, okay, that's too much for a shirt, I'll give half of the money that's raised for it to some charity, but I will be selling it for a higher price. I don't know. Maybe I should just set the price. I don't know if I should do like highest bidder. Highest bidder seems a bit hoary. Seems a bit.
You could just set a bid on eBay.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get eBay involved, but maybe I'll just set it for a crazy price, and if it doesn't sell, I'll lower the price. But maybe I'll just, I don't know. We'll see. But there is a worn shirt that could be yours. Even, whatever. It's a medium. If you're a thick person, just squeeze into it. Crop top, And if you're a small person, wear it as a dress. But I love the shirts. I'm so happy with how they came out. They're so cute. And I made it at my mom's house during lockdown. I cut up some magazine pieces, spelled out my name, and then I said, what else should I put? I didn't think it through very much, but I was like, why not Ali Macofsky as my girlfriend? You deserve it. I'm yours. When you're wearing the shirt, I'm your girlfriend. And if you have a girlfriend or a significant other, they'll get it. No need to be jealous, but it's super cute.
Did you give Joe a shirt right in front of his wife?
No, I did not give Joe a shirt right in front of his wife. I knew that he would not like the shirt. I knew that he was going to roast it. And so after the podcast, I was like, do you want a shirt? And he was like, yeah, sure. What is it? And then I was like, well, it says Ali Macofsky is my girlfriend. You definitely don't need it. And it's totally fine if you don't take it. And he was like, yeah, I don't think I'll wear that. And I was like, that's okay. And then I gave it to young Jamie. So if you see Jamie out in these streets wearing an Ali Macofsky is my girlfriend t-shirt, say what's up. Yeah, Jamie took it. But I'm super excited to get them out and sell them and for you to wear them. I think they look so nice. I also really like the white one too. They're both good. You can't lose. Great options. I hope the online store is set up nice and there's no problems with ordering them. I'm a little bit stressed about that because I kind of did it all on my own. But I have confidence. I have faith. It'll all work out. You're all going to be looking great. And there's going to be more merch to come. So if you don't get your little fingers on this bad boy, I'm sure I'm going to come up with some more. But, yeah, I don't know. It's been a good week. I'm super pumped, because I kind of was feeling just like, I don't know if I talked about this on here or to my friends, but like the past few weeks I've just been kind of like in this rut, like this kind of like base level, not depression, but just kind of like, what am I doing? Without comedy, it just every day feels like Groundhog's Day in some ways. And that's why skating has been nice, because it's a way for me to like get out of the house, get some exercise, meet new people, and also just like improve on something, like gain a new skill, and it's good because it is hard, and so it's something that I really have to like work towards and improve on. And so that's been nice, but it's like I just feel like I don't have this like purpose, that I was having before. And everything else in the world feels like pretty chaotic. So I don't know, I was just kind of like in this rut, and so it's been nice doing the stuff with the shirts because it gave me something to like work on and like figure out how to set up an online store through my website, which is alimacofsky.com. And getting the shirts like sent out and making sure I have packages from the post office so I can like ship them all, and just like getting it all together. And it's like I feel like that's just how everything is. It's like once you just start putting one foot in front of the other and like have some sort of project to work on and like do, I feel like something else comes up and whatever, maybe it's a coincidence, about the Joe stuff. I mean, probably it's just timing or whatever. But I feel like that's typically how things go. It's like if I'm just laying in bed, feeling sad for myself, not doing anything, like nothing's going to come my way because I'm not putting out the energy of like someone who's working. But when I start like focusing on something and putting my energy somewhere and just kind of like showing up to do anything, like either I feel accomplished because I did that, or like something else comes my way because things are happening, So I don't know. That's, I guess, my motivation for you if you're feeling a little low. But things are always changing constantly, There's always one project of some sort, and then there's kind of a lull, or maybe there's multiple projects and then a lull. And then it continues. It ebbs and flows. So don't be so hard on yourself. I'm such a positive person. Joe Rogan changed my life. After I did his podcast, I became a bright, shining little happy ray of sunshine. It is cool. How can you be mad after something like that? I have not read the comments. No, ma'am. You better believe I am not reading any of those comments, because I'm sure there's some nice ones. I'm sure there's some nice people saying, oh my gosh, I'm a new fan. She's so cute. She's funny. I like her. And then I'm sure there's people hating, and I don't have time for that. I can choose to be happy, and that's what I'm choosing. I'm not reading those comments. If you're being nice in the comments on the YouTube, thank you. I've briefly skimmed my phone. It started blowing up. I was so nervous and anxious, and then I started getting messages. I haven't opened them yet. I haven't checked them. I need time. But that camera. But everything I've seen so far has been positive, so that's really nice, because I was really scared. Not scared, just like anticipating the worst, which can be easy to do. But it's all been positive, and I'm super happy. And yeah, it was cool. When he called me, I got so emotional, because this is just a weird time where everything's kind of on pause, and it was like a moment where I could just like reflect and be like, this is such a special thing. Like, I started comedy with so much confidence, being like, I'm gonna be, if you told me when I first started comedy, like, oh, in a couple years you'll be on Joe Rogan's podcast and you'll have opened for him and you'll have opened for so many of your favorite comedians, and like, you'll start headlining your own shows. When I first started comedy, I would have been like, yeah, of course, duh. Like, I'm gonna fucking make it. And like, obviously everything that's good that could happen will happen to me. Like, I had so much confidence when I first started. And I think that that's important. I think like you need to be your number one fan when you start, because I keep talking about energy. Oh my God. But it's true. It's like, if you put out this energy of like, I'm going to make it, people are going to see you and be like, okay, like maybe she is, like you have to be your own advocate. And the longer I did comedy, like the easier it was to kind of like be hard on myself, because, my eyes were open to like the comedy scene. And like being in LA, especially, you get to see so many great comedians like who aren't even known, just like peers. And it, kind of makes you question yourself. And I think that that's good. I think that's what's good about being in a big scene, is that like you get to grow and you get to learn and you get to see so many people coming up and like whatever. But it can also be hard because you're the small fish in a big pond. And I think the longer that I have been doing comedy, the easier it is to be hard on myself and be like, oh my God, am I doing enough? Like, am I saying the right things? Like, whatever. And there's been these moments that like kind of validate what I'm doing. And you have to like take those small moments as like big victories. Like, getting on Kill Tony when I did. And then like from that experience, like having Joe Rogan find out about me. And then from that experience, like opening shows for him. And then from that, doing the podcast. And it's like, not only as like a peer, but like a friend. And that was kind of always a joke, because he would talk about me on his podcast and be like, oh, my friend Ali Macofsky. And I'm like, he's just fucking around. Like, he doesn't think I'm his friend, but like he really is. And there's like so many people in the comedy scene that I'm just like so grateful to, like, I'm just so grateful to be doing comedy and to like meet the people that I met through that, who have become like my closest friends, and like, people who I can turn to for anything. Damn, this is like a very sentimental episode. But it's true. I'm just like so appreciative. And especially now when nothing's happening, everything's kind of on pause. Like, it's just nice to still have those moments of like, I'm still doing the thing, I feel like I was doing something cool too before I did the podcast. What was I doing? I gave myself a tattoo. That's right. I gave myself a tattoo. I don't know if you know this, but you can just buy tattoo guns on Amazon. They don't ask for your age or anything. Anyone can buy a tattoo machine, a full machine, needles, foot pedal to get the needle popping. They have everything. So my friend got one, and she lives with her parents, so she was like, I can't use this at my house. So I have part-time custody of it because, I'm an adult. And and I can do whatever the fuck I want. I ice cream in bed. Yum, yum, yum. But yeah, I gave myself this tattoo. It's a $sign on my hand. And I was so nervous, but I kind of killed it. I did a really good job. And then I was trying to do a heart on my upper thigh. And I could tell after one line that once I started doing the other line, I was like, oh, there's no way I can turn this into a heart. Like, I've definitely fucked this up. And so now it just looks like a wishbone. It's just two weird lines. Whatever. It'll probably fade. I wasn't wearing gloves. Everyone was freaking out. They're like, why? You're not wearing gloves. I think I'll be fine. How do you get hepatitis? Can you check? Is that just from a dirty needle? But our hands
Pretty
were...
much, yeah.
Yeah. Can you just double check? I'm going to make you be my Jamie. Because everyone was like, oh my God, you're gonna get sick. But we all washed our hands. Everything was clean. And the needles aren't just like laying around exposed. Like the needle only comes out when you have your foot on the foot pedal. So I think we were fine. I feel great. If Pamela Anderson could get Hep C and be fine, then, who's to say I can't? Okay, so I'm recording this early, but I did Joe's podcast yesterday, and then it came out today at noon, and I was at my sister's bridal shower. It was very small and intimate. Everyone was being pretty safe, and it was really nice, and it was also nice because I knew that, like, a lot of people would message me, like my friends and stuff would message me after and, like, text me and whatever, and I was like, it was so perfect that my sister's bridal shower was today because I got to, like, spend time with her and see my family. And also I wasn't able to just, like, sit at home and, like, refresh my computer screen every 5 seconds and, like, see how many views and how many likes and dislikes and comments. And part of me is so tempted to read the comments, but I know, I've read a lot of, I always go to like on TikTok, I'm always like, I'll watch a video and then the first thing I do is check the comments because people are so funny on TikTok comments. I love it. But I also like checking people's comments on YouTube, especially on my podcast YouTube. There's so many funny comments and I really love reading them. But with Joe has such a big audience, and I know that it can be a little bit weird with any guest, but particularly female guests can get a lot of weird comments. And so I'm too nervous to check. And so I'm going to have Anthony read some of the comments to me. But I told him no mean comments. I'm not prepared for that. But I also want to know, are there a lot of mean comments or are there like a good mix?
It's a good mix.
Anthony said it's a good mix.
You can tell that the bad ones are just dudes that just want to see like him talk to like only Brendan Schaub and Jocko Willink.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's not a personal thing. It's more so just
it's
like...
more like one guy's just like, oh, another female comic.
Okay, whatever. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like a lot of times the mean comments are from people who don't watch any of the podcasts. They maybe watch the first 5 minutes and are just like, fuck this bitch. I don't want to hear anything she has to say. And that's fine. If you know that you're not going to like it, I don't want you to have to watch it. And no one's forcing you to do that. Right. And I'm sorry that, one episode out of the thousands he's done, well, like, whatever, isn't who you want, and that's fine. But let's read some of the highlights. Only nice things. I'm not mentally prepared for any negativity right now.
Her pupils are huge. Somebody's popping Zans before the podcast.
Someone said, I don't know if people can hear you. So Anthony, it's close enough. Yeah. I always keep my mic so tight on my face. My mom hates it, and Anthony's just like low riding down here. I don't know if people can, whatever. Anthony said that someone said my pupils are huge. Someone must have been popping Zans before. No, I'm sober. I was just excited. Also, it's a dark room. Of course, my pupils are going to be dilated. That's how light works with your pupils.
Ali seems like the type of girl that doesn't have an alarm clock and just trusts that her farts will make her wake up. Is that negative? That's not negative.
No, I'm just trying to that is pretty funny. you know, I feel like people, when they just see me or hear me and don't know me, like, people are like, you're so chill. You're so chill and calm, and, like, you know, you just go with the flow. I'm not that person. I set, like, 12 alarms, and I also don't fart in my sleep that I'm aware of. What?
So they put, like, you know how, like, people have nicknames, and then it's, like, the nickname is in apostrophes.
Yeah, it's like Ali,
yeah,
nickname Macofsky.
So this says, Ali, is vitamin D the sun one? Macofsky.
I did say that. He was talking about vitamins, and he was like, vitamin C, vitamin D. I was like, I know Sunny D Light, and that has a big old sun on the packaging, so I figured vitamin D has to be the sun one. But he was saying take vitamin D, and I feel like I'm in, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I did say that.
This guy wrote, LMAO, Joe tried so hard to slowly steer the conversation away from the poop, and she just kept taking it back there.
You got to bring it back to the poop. You can't gloss over. I also felt like I wanted to talk more. This is so selfish, but I wanted to talk more about how I got into comedy and my upbringing. And I like mentioned my parents working together because I thought he would ask like what they do, but he already knows. I don't know if he remembers, but I've told him what they do. They're longshoremen. And I thought he would have found that fascinating. So there were certain things I just like wanted to talk more in depth about, but it's not my show, you know?
She seems like the chick that's always losing her lighter.
I am always losing my lighter. I was looking for it in the car when I was driving today. I was checking every nook and cranny. But yeah, that's accurate. These people are good.
Someone said you look like the girl from The Shining.
I don't look like the girl from The Shining, the mom.
So. Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm sure there's moments where I could look like the mom from The Shining, but I don't think
jet black hair and.
Yeah, that's not like I've never like no one's ever whatever.
Someone also said you look like a real life Simpsons character.
Oh.
Which is, I think, a compliment.
Maybe yeah, whatever. I like the way that I look, and if that's Simpsons character-esque, sure. Maybe it's because my hair was sticking out of the headphones and I looked like cartoonish. Is it taking you a long time to find another comment because they're so mean?
No. There's just a lot of people like quoting like Joe, or like people are like talking about The Rock a lot for some reason.
Oh, because Joe brought up The Rock and I was talking about that.
Yeah. It's like someone wrote, I swear to God, I've never gotten a good look at Jamie's face before. Like,
yeah.
For some reason, they're like not all about you, which is weird.
Another
person said she sounds like she's on Xanny.
Yeah, that's just my voice. That's why I have resting bitch. Resting bitch voice. I just always sound like I'm tweaked out. Is that the end of the comments?
I mean, there's 3,000 comments.
Yeah.
4,000 almost. Someone said you look like one of the brothers from Greta Van Fleet, which is...
Oh my God. No, weird. I do not. I mean, maybe I do. If I had dark hair and it was like...
This guy wrote, I don't understand how someone could be so hot. I'm assuming that they are talking about you.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Because if they're talking about Joe, I guess that'd be kind of weird, considering it's a dude named Ryan.
Don't...
Well, you know, I mean...
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That was homophobic.
I know.
It's okay. Anthony's a work in progress. Anthony's a woke in progress. I'm woken him up.
Someone should count the amount of times that they both said like.
A lot. I say like a lot, and I probably should stop.
Joe is such a cool dad in this.
He really is. I wish, dude, his kids are so lucky. I
always think about that.
I always think about that. And when I finally met one of his daughters, I was like, she was like so adorable, and she's like, you know, for some reason I would like, I mean, his wife is like gorgeous, but for some reason I like picture his kids just being like meatheads for some reason. Like just being like, I don't know.
No, Joe's daughters. So
well, but also when you watch like old videos of Joe, like when he first started stand up, he's like a lanky like guy, you know?
Right.
But he's obviously put in the work, a lot of work to be like this, you know, buff fighter man, and his daughter's just like so normal and adorable and has braces. And when I was talking to Joe's wife, his daughter was standing next to her, and she was like kind of doing that, like these little movements, and I was like, she's doing she's doing a TikTok dance right now. So I was like, oh my God, are you on TikTok? And then we were talking about TikTok. And that's how I always try and relate to the youth. I'm just like,
His daughter is on TikTok, though?
I mean, I don't want to blow up her spot. I think so. Or she at least, maybe she doesn't have an account, but she's definitely watching because we were doing some dances.
Right.
But yeah, she's so adorable. And it's like, it's just crazy. I'm like, they're just so normal. I think that's what's so cool about Joe is that he's like such a normal dude. That's why it's funny, like watching him interact with fans, like at the Comedy Store or like on the road or something, is because people are like, oh my God. And he's just like the most normal dude. His kids are lucky because he could be like one of those people who's successful and like crazy and like, you know, he's so private. He's so low key. It's respectable.
A lot of people are just like quoting you.
Any good quotes that I said?
Let me scroll back up.
Oh. Are the mean ones really mean or just like bros being like...
There's honestly not mean ones.
Huh.
People are saying dumb stuff like they think that you're his side piece.
Oh, classic. That's what's annoying about... Like, honestly, like, I love being a lady in comedy. But it is annoying. Like, I was talking to... Santino about this, and it's like hard because like, you know, I think like a lot of male headliners would like to take women on the road, and I think that there is like this weird thing where guys don't want to take women, not because they're like, no, I just want bros to open for me, like I want dudes to open. I think it's just like hard because people just assume that if you're opening for a comedian, like you're boning them, and it's like, no, I'm friends. Like I've only hooked up with pretty much all losers. Like any comedian I've hooked up with has been like, you don't know them. I don't even know them anymore. Couldn't name them. There's a couple. There's been like one somewhat pop it, but like no one that I would ever perform with. Imagine hooking up with someone and then being like, hey, I want to take you to work with me. That's never happened. That's never happened.
That's such a good point, actually.
Yeah.
That's funny. Someone said, remember when we went to St. Paul? And I was like, what's up, St. Louis? LMAO.
Yeah, that was so
A lot of people are writing about that because it's funny. And then, like, people just write, like, invite John McAfee on. It would be fun. Like, just like...
Yeah, just the regular...
Irrelevant comments.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Someone wrote, the car was invented in Germany, idiots.
Yeah, we're dum-dums. It's so funny. My mom's always like, comedians are so smart. Joe's so smart. Everyone's so smart. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not smart. I mean, there's some smart people, but yeah. Just
Ali, I pooped myself in college, Macofsky.
Yeah, I did. I pooped myself in college. And this morning I almost pooped myself too. I picked up my sister to go to my other sister's bridal shower, and I was really hungry, and I knew that I was going to be hungry later, so I stopped at McDonald's. Big mistake. I got one hash brown. I got one sausage patty. You know that you can just order those bad boys loose? You don't need to order anything. You can just get a loose patty. So I got a loose sausage and an iced coffee. And if you're constipated, all you have to do is get a iced coffee from McDonald's, and that'll get you going. So I was driving like an hour to Orange County, just clenching, and I was getting those bubbles, and I was sweating a little bit. But I survived. I made it to the bathroom.
Someone said her shirt is so dope. I want it.
The Bowie shirt.
That is a dope shirt. It has
Yeah.
holes in it and shit.
My friend gave that to me. It was so funny. Like, it's funny the way, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say all women, but like, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, like, you know, I want to wear the right outfit. I want to look cute, but I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard. And I want to look casual, but not like I don't care about this at all. And then I want to wear makeup just so my skin looks good, but I don't want to like wear too much makeup where it looks like I'm going to the club, or where like, you know, people are going to assume things about me. Like, it's just, and I had my friend curl my hair a little bit for it, because I'm like, it's just such a process when dudes are just like, this shirt, these pants, whatever, like, that works.
Right.
But it's because there's so much, I feel like there's so much, men feel like they can just comment on women's appearance and whatever. It's like, at least we fucking try.
Someone wrote, I love Joe, but I zoned out listening to him, and Ali's voice kept bringing me back to reality.
Whoa. Powerful voice. Yeah, well, thank you for reading nice comments. I needed that.
What's that?
I said thank you for reading nice comments. I needed that.
A lot of them are just so irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, of course. It's not all going to be about the pod.
This person said every time Ali says something super interesting, Joe shuts it down to talk about elk screaming.
I mean, I could have... You know what? He's going to have me back on. I'm manifesting it. I'll be back on. I'll have bullet points in my head. I'll go in. I'll be focused. I'll be ready. I'll be in the zone. I'll be more comfortable, more relaxed. And, yeah, it was super cool. I'm so pumped, you know? Yeah, it's just nice when... Yeah, I don't know. It was super cool.
Someone said, why so many dislikes? I feel like on a...
There's a... Okay, so they said, why so many dislikes, but also there's so many likes.
No, I know, but like I feel like obviously the bigger the podcast, the amount of views, there's always just going to be dislikes.
Of course.
Like in the first
yeah, I don't even acknowledge dislikes because you know what? Here's the other thing. Like it's like, you know, when you post something on Instagram, like when I posted about my aunt dying, people liked my photo, you know, and it's weird because they're liking a photo about my aunt dying.
Right.
And so it's like, you know, I'm not, of course people disliked my episode. Why not? Fuck it.
Right.
Sure. Dislike it. But there's also that like weird thing of like, well, I mean, it's probably whoever disliked it meant to do that. But it's like when someone posts like, I don't know, just got divorced on Facebook and there's like likes. It's like people aren't liking it. They're meaning to say like, oh, bummer, but they're acknowledging it. Whatever, I don't care.
There should just be like an acknowledge button.
Yeah.
Instead of
I saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Someone said times. I saw her when she opened up for Santino in November. She was absolutely hilarious.
That's nice. Yeah, it's funny because people will be like, "Oh, I'm funnier than you." Like I would have been so much funnier. And it's like, here's the thing. There's stand-up comedy funny, there's conversation funny. I'm funnier on stage. Sometimes if I'm in a flow, there's some episodes of this pod that are just banger, 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 joke, 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 joke. And sometimes I'm just kicking it, you know? I'm not always funny. There's like, you know, so a lot of people, we don't need to do more comments unless you want to.
I mean, we can go on for a while.
Yeah, I don't need to do any more comments. That was good.
Someone did say, I'm happy she made it and not still at he will divide us type things. We can cut that out if you want.
No, it's fine.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, like, you know, people always tell me I'm funny and that I should do comedy. And it's like, those are two different things. And I've talked about this before, but like, I had so many friends in high school who I thought were like so funny. But I was talking to my friend Ted about this. Like, my friend Ted's so funny. He's just like one of those people you want to hang out with because they're always going to like do something that makes you laugh. And he's so funny. But we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, but I could never turn that into like stand-up comedy, telling jokes type of funny. You know, there's like different levels to it. And that's the great thing about comedy too, is it's like, okay, if you didn't like me opening for someone, or if you saw me headline and you didn't like it, like, okay, that's great. Like, you know what you like and you know what you don't like. And like, I'm not just your cup of tea, you know? There's plenty of comedians that I don't think are funny. But I can still be like, oh yeah, but they're like, I see what they're doing. It's just not for me. But yeah, I can't wait to see what comes next. Keep doing the pod, get some cool guests on in the future. I know I keep saying that, but I was supposed to have a skateboarder on today. Cool skateboarder come on. He had to cancel. That's fine. Whatever. Probably just intimidated because I just got off Joe Rogan's pod. It's a lot of pressure. But he'll be on soon, and then I have a UFC fighter coming on soon, and then didn't I tell you someone else that was cool who I have coming on?
It was just those two.
Yeah, I feel like there might be someone else who is in the works. But anyway, leave a comment who you want to see that you think I can. Don't be putting crazy people in there, but if you've heard me talk about someone, or you know that I could potentially get them on and you think that they're cool, put them in the comments. Let me know. Because I want to have more guests on, especially since COVID and pandemic stuff can be pretty boring. You know, my week to week isn't too crazy. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you're a new fan from Joe's podcast, thanks for checking out my podcast. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I think that's it. Is that fine? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be another podcast next week. I'll talk more.
Right.
There's like 58 other podcast episodes to listen to. Catch up. This is the end. Catch up on the other ones. I have a Patreon. You get cool things if you're in the Patreon club. Patreon gets early access to my t-shirts. They also, if you're in the top tier Patreon, you get to hang out with me once a month. We all do a Zoom call. We all hang out virtually. You get to meet other people who spend a lot of money on my Patreon. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't you like to know who those people are? They're very nice. We have a good time. So we do that. I give them a shout out on the pod. And I'll probably do that next week. And then we'll probably do the Patreon hangout on Zoom sometime in 2 weeks probably. And yeah, my birthday's next month. Gifts are welcome at the Comedy Store. Send it to the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard. You don't have to. I don't need any gifts. I don't know what to do. 25. It feels like a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. But there's nothing to do. I don't know what I'm going to do for my birthday. But I'll figure something out. I don't know what I want. My sister asked me. I don't know. An apartment in Texas, I guess. Yeehaw, baby. COVID Cowboys.
Would you really move to Texas?
Maybe.
Though? Really?
I don't know.
I remember like a few years ago you had said like, yeah,
I'm never
probably
gonna
just
move.
gonna move to like Texas for like 6 months or whatever.
When did I say that?
It was actually on my podcast that you said
Whoa, R.I.P.
Yeah. you said that yeah, you wanted to move to Texas, I think.
Whoa. Maybe I've manifested this. Maybe this is all my doing. The simulation.
It was either Texas or New York.
Oh, it was probably New York. I don't know why I would say Texas. That doesn't sound like me.
I'm going to go back and listen to it.
Okay, give it a listen. Yeah. Make sure to rate and review the podcast on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me. I think it just helps me out in some way. I don't know. Do it. What else are you doing? You're in lockdown. You're bored. You're looking for things to do. You're scrolling on Instagram. You're on Twitter. You're doing nothing. Just leave a nice comment on YouTube, on iTunes, subscribe, do the nice things, be nice. I'll do my best. I'm trying to think, did anything crazy happen? Some guy at the gas station, I was wearing these pants and they're like kind of too big around the waist. And so there's like, I look like Jared from Subway where the pants are just sticking out. And the guy at the gas station was like, I'm not going to do an accent. That's bad. Stop, Ali. Don't do it. He was like, why don't you wear a belt? He didn't sound like that, but you can add whatever accent you want. He was like, why don't you wear a belt? And I was like, don't you like this? Like, he was like telling me to be more conservative. I was like not used to it. It's like weird. Like, imagine being a woman walking down the street and having someone be like, you're doing great. I'm not interested in you sexually. Wear a turtleneck. Wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'd almost felt more violating. I was like, do you care about me? I'm not used to this. That was funny. Good job, Ali. Way to end the podcast strong. Instagram, not Ali Mac. Website, alimacofsky.com. The shirts are out and maybe still available if I've really overvalued my brand. But whatever. Okay. Bye. Have a good day. Talk to me. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay. Oh, God.